One dark night, I was walking home after visiting a friend when I suddenly felt like someone was following me. Then, a black cat stepped into the middle of the road and just stood there, staring straight at me. I looked up and thought I saw someone sitting in the tree ahead. My whole body froze. I had always heard people say this road was cursed because an old cemetery was just a few steps away. Nobody ever came this way after dark, but in a hurry to get home, I had made the biggest mistake of my life. My heart was pounding. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. So I closed my eyes and started praying to God. Please just get me home safely. But then, if you enjoyed that horror story, you're definitely not the only one. Millions of people watch videos just like these every single day. Just take a look at these channels. They're pulling in millions of views with simple horror stories because people absolutely love this kind of content. But here's the thing. Today, we're not making basic horror videos like everyone else. We're going to build something that's way better. A fully animated horror story with consistent characters, cinematic visuals, and professional quality storytelling. And the best part? I've already built the entire workflow for you, from creating a brand new YouTube channel to generating the logo, banner, scripts, thumbnails, storyboards, animations, and even uploading the finished video. Almost everything is automated. Most of it only takes a few clicks. I'm going to walk you through the entire process step by step, and by the end of this video, you'll see the finished video uploaded to YouTube. But before we jump in, I've got one quick favor to ask. Head down to the comments, swipe over to the left, and you'll see the hype button. If you can, please tap it. It really helps support the channel, and I'd honestly appreciate it. All right, let's get started. You know what the biggest mistake most people make is? They try to do everything themselves. They spend hours making logos, writing descriptions, setting up their channel, and eventually they just burn out. But smart creators don't work harder. They use the right tools. So to make things easier, I put together a special prompt that basically does all the heavy lifting for you. It'll generate your channel name, write your about section, create your channel description, and even help with your branding. So instead of spending hours doing everything manually, you can have it done in just a few minutes. Now, before we get started, every tool, prompt, and resource I'm using in this video is linked down in the description. Just join our WhatsApp channel using the link below and you'll find everything there. All right, let's do this. First, copy the prompt. Then open Google and search for Claude AI. Open the official website, create a free account if you don't already have one, and don't worry, we're only using the free version in this video. Once you're inside, click on Settings. Now select the Sonnet 5 model. After that, you'll see an effort option. Set that to medium. That gives you a nice balance between quality and speed, and it also helps your free credits last longer. Then turn thinking mode on. And that's it, we're ready. Now just paste in the prompt you copied earlier and hit submit. Within a few seconds, Claude understands exactly what we're trying to build and starts generating everything automatically. The first thing I usually ask for is 10 YouTube channel name ideas. A few seconds later, boom, it gives me 10 different names based on my niche. In this case, I'm creating a horror channel, so all the suggestions are horror related. Now just pick the one you like the most and copy it. Next, search for YouTube Studio on Google and open your dashboard. Go to Customization, paste your new channel name, then set your channel handle using the same name. If it's already taken, just add a few numbers or a small variation until you find one that's available. Now let's jump back to Claude. I'll tell it, I like channel name number 7. Now create a professional logo prompt for it. Almost instantly, Claude gives me 4 different logo prompts to choose from. I'll copy the first one. Then head over to Google again and search for Google Flow. Open the website, create a free account if you haven't already, and start a new project. Once you're in, click on Settings. For logo generation, change the image format to 1:1. I'll generate 2 images at a time, which is more than enough for me. Then choose the Nano Banana Pro image model. One thing I really like about this tool is that image generation is completely free. It doesn't cost any credits to create these images. Now, all you have to do is paste the prompt and click Generate. While that's processing, I'll go back and copy the second prompt. Generate that one too. Then the third, and finally the fourth. Just repeat the same process. A few moments later, you'll have multiple logo options ready to choose from. If you don't like any of them, just go back to Claude, describe the style you're looking for, and it'll write a brand new prompt for you. Then paste that into Google Flow and generate more options. For me though, I actually like this one, so I'm going to download it in 2K resolution, which gives me a nice high-quality logo for my channel. Now let's finish setting up the channel. Head back over to YouTube Studio, click on your profile picture, and upload the logo we just created. But we're not done yet. Every good YouTube channel also needs a banner, so let's make one. We'll jump back into Claude and ask it to generate a banner prompt. A few seconds later, it'll give us several options. Just copy the prompt, go back to Google Flow, paste it in, and generate your banner. Pick the one you like the most, download it, and upload it to your channel. And just like that, you've got a professional-looking logo and banner without spending hours designing anything yourself. Honestly, the more specific your instructions are, the better your AI-generated results will be. Now let's move on to the About section. This part is actually pretty important because it helps YouTube understand what your channel is about. So instead of writing it yourself, go back to Claude and ask it to create an SEO-friendly channel description based on the channel name you chose. Since Claude already knows your niche, it'll generate a description that's actually relevant to your content. Just copy it, paste it into your channel's About section, and hit publish. Simple as that. Now, here's something a lot of beginners completely overlook. If you upload videos without properly setting up your channel first, you're making it harder for YouTube to understand what your content is about. So go into channel settings, select the country that's appropriate for your channel, then add your channel keywords. And no, you don't have to come up with those yourself either. Just go back to Claude and ask it for a list of SEO keywords. Because of the prompt we used earlier, it'll already know your niche and generate keywords that actually fit your channel. Copy them, paste them into your channel settings, and you're done. This gives YouTube more context about the type of content you're creating. Now let's talk about something I get asked all the time. Why am I getting almost no views after uploading videos? There isn't one single reason this happens. A brand new channel usually takes some time to build a history, and YouTube needs enough information to understand your content and audience. That's why I always recommend using an older Google account if you already have one. Create your new YouTube channel with that account, then spend a couple of days using YouTube normally. Watch videos, leave a few comments, get the like button. Basically, use the account like a real person would before you start uploading. If you're using a brand new Google account, that's okay too. Just make sure you complete all of YouTube's verification steps first. Go to Feature Eligibility, verify your phone number, then complete the advanced verification if it's available for your account. That helps unlock more channel features and confirms that you're the owner of the account. Even after that, I'd still recommend spending a couple of days watching videos and interacting with YouTube naturally before uploading your first video. Now for the most important part of this entire process, the master prompt. I spent a lot of time building this because it's the foundation for everything we're about to create. If it's been helpful so far, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button and drop a comment below. It really helps the channel. Now, copy the master prompt. If you want, take a minute to read through it so you understand what it's doing. Right below it, you'll also find 3 reference scripts. These are extremely important. We're going to use them to teach ChatGPT exactly what style of videos we want it to create. And here's the cool part. If you're making videos in a completely different niche, you can do the exact same thing. Just collect 3 or 4 high-quality scripts from creators in your niche and use those as your references instead. You'll find everything I'm using down in the description, so you don't have to search for it yourself. Now open Google and search for ChatGPT. You don't need a paid plan for this tutorial. Just create a free account. I'm using the free version here, and it'll work perfectly fine for what we're about to do next. All right, now let's actually start creating the videos. Once you're inside ChatGPT, you'll see the reasoning option. Click on it and set it to medium. Next, copy the master prompt I gave you earlier. Paste it into ChatGPT and hit send. Within a few seconds, it'll understand exactly what you're trying to build. The only thing it'll ask for next is your reference scripts, so it can learn the style you're going for. Now take those 3 reference scripts, paste them one by one, and submit them. Once that's done, ChatGPT already has a solid understanding of the writing style, pacing, and structure we're looking for. Now ask it to generate 10 video ideas. A few seconds later, you'll have 10 different ideas ready to go. Just pick the one you like the most, paste it back into the chat, and tell ChatGPT how long you want the script to be. Since this is just a tutorial, I'm only asking for a 1-minute script. A few moments later, it'll generate the entire script for you. Now here's one mistake a lot of people make. Don't just copy and paste the script exactly as it is. Read through it first. If you think a hook could be stronger, make it stronger. If a sentence feels awkward, rewrite it. AI should save you time, but your final touch is what makes the content stand out. As you can see, I've already gone through my script and polished it up so it flows much better. Now let's create the thumbnail. And just like everything else, I've already made a special prompt for that too. Honestly, AI has gotten so good that it can create thumbnails that would take most people hours to make manually. First, copy the thumbnail prompt. Along with that, I've included 4 reference images in the resources. Download all 4 because we'll use them to teach the AI the exact style we're after. Now head back to ChatGPT. Paste the thumbnail prompt and hit send. Next, upload all 4 reference images. ChatGPT will analyze everything: the style, colors, composition, lighting, and overall look. Then it'll generate 2 custom thumbnail prompts based on your script. I'll copy the first prompt, go back to Google Flow, open settings, this time change the image ratio to 16:9 since we're making a YouTube thumbnail. Paste the prompt and click generate. While that's rendering, I'll copy the second prompt, paste that one in, and generate another version. Just a few moments later, take a look at these. The results are honestly pretty impressive. Now, don't feel like you have to use the exact reference images I provided. If you like another creator's thumbnail style better, use those instead. The better your references are, the closer the final result will match the style you want. Think of ChatGPT like a creative partner. The more clearly you explain what you're looking for, the better the results it'll give you. Once you've found the thumbnail you like, just download it in the highest quality available. That's the one I'll be using. Now that the script and thumbnail are finished, it's finally time to build the actual video. We'll create each scene one by one and then turn those scenes into a complete video. Now it's time to create the visuals. And trust me, you do not need to spend hours writing image prompts one by one. That's exactly why I created another prompt for you. I spent a ton of time building it so you don't have to. It already includes everything the AI needs to know: how to break the script into scenes, how long each scene should last, how to build a storyboard, how much detail each prompt should have, basically everything. So if it's saving you hours of work, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button. Now copy the prompt, head back to ChatGPT, paste it in, and hit send. Right away, ChatGPT will explain exactly what it's about to do. It'll tell you how it's going to break the story into scenes, how many scenes it'll create, and how the storyboard will be structured. Take a minute to read through everything. If something doesn't look right, you can always ask it to make changes before moving on. In my case, everything looks good, so I'll just paste in my script and send it. At first, ChatGPT tried generating images, but that's not what we want. We're only using ChatGPT to create the prompts. We'll generate the actual images inside Google Flow because the quality is much better. So I simply told ChatGPT, I don't need the images, just give me the prompts. It asked for a little clarification. I reminded it about the instructions we already gave earlier, and a few seconds later, it generated a detailed storyboard prompt for the very first scene. As you can see, one storyboard is designed to cover about 10 seconds of the video, exactly the way we specified in our prompt. Now I'll copy the prompt for scene 1, go over to Google Flow, paste it in, and generate it. A few moments later, we'll get 2 results. One is a regular image, and the other is a storyboard. For this workflow, we want a storyboard, so that's the one we'll use. Now let's move on to scene 2. Copy the second prompt, then click on the first storyboard we just generated. You'll see the 3-dot menu in the corner. Click it, then choose Add to Prompt. This step is really important. It tells Google Flow that we're continuing the same story instead of starting from scratch. After that, paste in the prompt for scene 2 and click Generate. Now look at the result. The character looks the same, the dog still looks the same, the background style is consistent, everything matches. And that's because we included the previous storyboard as a reference. If you skip that step, Google Flow will often generate a completely different character or visual style, and your video won't feel consistent anymore. Little details like this save you a lot of time later. That's why I always tell you not to skip these steps. Now we'll do the exact same thing for scene 4. Add the previous storyboard, paste the next prompt, generate it, then move on to scene 5, scene 6, and keep going until every storyboard is finished. And that's really the secret. Most people generate images one at a time, which usually causes the characters, lighting, or art style to change from image to image. Instead, we're generating connected storyboards so every scene stays visually consistent from beginning to end, and that makes a huge difference in the final video. Alright, so now we've finished all of our storyboards. But here's the next challenge. How do you actually turn these into videos? Don't worry, I already thought about that too. Just like everything else, I created another detailed prompt that handles almost the entire process for you. Pretty crazy, right? At this point, AI is doing most of the hard work. This prompt already tells ChatGPT everything it needs to know. How each storyboard should be animated, how much movement each scene should have, what kind of camera motion to use, where the background music should feel intense, how the animation should match your script. Basically, it's all built in. So all you have to do is copy the prompt, go back to ChatGPT, and paste it into the same conversation where we generated the storyboard prompts. Since ChatGPT already knows the story, it'll automatically generate an animation prompt for every single storyboard we created. Let's start with scene 1. I'll copy the animation prompt, then head back to Google Flow. Click the 3 dots on your storyboard, and this time choose Animate. Now you'll see the video generation settings. Since video generation uses credits, I recommend creating one video at a time so you don't burn through your free credits too quickly. Set the aspect ratio you want, then choose OmniFlash as the generation model. For this workflow, it's the one that gives me the best results. We're generating 10-second clips because that's exactly how we planned our storyboard. Now paste in the animation prompt, click Generate, and wait a few moments. All right, the video is ready. But when I play it back, you'll notice a few weird glitches. That's completely normal. Instead of settling for it, here's what I do. I go back to ChatGPT, explain exactly what looks off, then I quickly read through that scene of the script again. Based on those lines, I tell ChatGPT what actions should actually be happening on screen. For example, how the character should move, what expressions they should have, what the camera should focus on. The more clearly you explain the movement you want, the better the animation prompt becomes. ChatGPT already understands the story. You're just giving it a little extra direction. A few seconds later, it generates a much more detailed animation prompt. I'll copy that, go back to Google Flow, animate the storyboard again, paste in the new prompt, and generate another version. Now compare the results. This one looks way better. Is it absolutely perfect? Not always. You might still notice tiny visual glitches here and there, but honestly, for a free AI tool, it's incredibly good. The most important thing is that the animation matches the story and feels natural. If you wanted completely flawless cinematic videos, you'd probably need much more advanced AI tools that can cost hundreds of dollars. But since we're building this entire workflow with free tools, these results are honestly more than good enough. Once you're happy with the clip, download it in the highest quality available. Now repeat the exact same process for scene 2. Add the second storyboard, ask ChatGPT for the animation prompt, paste it into Google Flow, generate the video, and as you can see, the second scene turns out great too. After that, I simply ask ChatGPT to generate animation prompts for all the remaining scenes at once. Then it's just the same process over and over. Storyboard, prompt, generate, download. One quick tip, if you ever run out of credits, don't worry. There are plenty of other AI video generators that offer free daily credits. If you're not sure which ones are worth using, join our WhatsApp channel. I regularly share free AI tools and websites there that you can use to generate videos without paying. Google also runs promotions from time to time where you can earn additional free credits. And if you search YouTube for how to get free Google Flow credits, you'll find plenty of tutorials explaining the latest methods. Once your channel starts making money, that's when I'd recommend paying for a subscription. Paid models usually produce smoother animations, better consistency, and far fewer visual glitches. I could easily show this tutorial using premium tools, but I know not everyone wants to spend money when they're just getting started. That's why I try to build these tutorials using mostly free tools so anyone can follow along. Now at this point, our video is basically finished. The visuals look great, the animations are done, most of the scenes already include sound effects and ambient audio. The only thing left is the voiceover. You can absolutely record it yourself if you want, but if you're looking for a realistic AI voice, let me show you the method I personally like the most. Most people use tools like Minimax, ElevenLabs, or Google AI Studio. I've tested all of them, and personally, I think Google AI Studio gives the most natural-sounding voices. The problem is, most people never learn how to use it properly. They use the default settings, get robotic results, and assume the tool isn't any good. In reality, they're just using it the wrong way. So here's exactly how I do it. Go to Google, search for Google AI Studio, open the website, and create a free account if you don't already have one. Once you're inside, click on Add Voiceover. You'll see 3 different text boxes. The first thing I always do is clear all of them. Then we'll set everything up the right way from the beginning. All right, now let's create the voiceover. At the top, you'll see 3 different text boxes. The first one is for the scene prompt. The second is sample context, and the third is where your actual script goes. Now, head back to the resource page. I also created a special prompt specifically for generating realistic AI voiceovers. Just copy it, go over to ChatGPT, paste it in, and hit send. ChatGPT will generate both prompts for you automatically. Sometimes the response is a little too long, so I usually ask it to make the prompts shorter while keeping the exact same meaning. That makes it easier to work with. Now, copy the first prompt, paste it into the scene prompt box, then copy the second one and paste it into sample context. Finally, paste your script into the script box. If you want even better results, you can also add a short note before the script describing the emotion you want. For example, start with excitement. Sound surprised here. Slow down before the big reveal. Little instructions like these help Google AI Studio understand exactly how you want the voice to sound. Now let's adjust a few settings. For the model, I recommend Gemini 2.5 Pro. I've tested several of them, and this one consistently gives me the most natural results. Next, choose any speaker you like. Different voices work better for different kinds of content, so feel free to experiment. Then open the voice settings. For style, I usually choose Vocal Smile. For pace, I leave it on natural. And for the accents, just pick whatever fits your audience. There isn't one perfect setting. It really depends on the kind of videos you're making. Once everything's set up, click Generate. A few moments later, you'll have a voiceover that sounds surprisingly realistic. Now it's time for the final step. Editing. You can use your phone, your laptop, whatever editing software you're comfortable with. The process is actually pretty simple. First, import all of your video clips and the voiceover. Place the voiceover on the timeline first. Then start adding each video clip one by one so they match what the narrator is saying. If a clip is too long, trim it. If it's too short, slow it down just a little so it matches the timing. Once everything lines up, start adding transitions between your clips. Almost every editing program has built-in transitions, so just use the ones you like. Smooth transitions make the entire video feel much more polished. After that, add a few color filters if they fit your style. Since we're making horror content, darker cinematic filters usually work really well. Then add your background music, along with a few sound effects. For free music and sound effects, I recommend checking out Pixabay. It has a huge library of royalty-free audio that you can use in your videos. You can also use the YouTube audio library inside YouTube Studio. There are plenty of free tracks there as well. Or, if you're looking for something specific, just search YouTube for copyright-free horror background music. You'll find tons of creators sharing free music. Just make sure to follow their usage instructions. If they ask for credit in your video description, simply include the link they provide. Once everything's edited, export your video and upload it to YouTube. For the title, use the one ChatGPT already generated for you. If you still need a description, just ask ChatGPT to write one based on your script. Copy it, paste it into YouTube, and you're good to go. One last tip before you hit publish. Instead of publishing the video immediately, upload it as unlisted first. Leave it that way for about 30 minutes. That gives YouTube enough time to finish processing the video and all of its audio and visual data before it goes public. After that, switch it to public and let the algorithm do its thing. And that's it for this video. If you found this helpful, there's another video on your screen right now that I think you'll really like. Go check it out, and I'll see you over there.